Welcome to Mass Gun Talk. I'm Corey S. It's the first episode number 1, the beginning. So stay tuned, enjoy. We'll drop some jewels for you, hopefully. Leave the episode with some knowledge. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell to get notified when we drop new episodes. Sit back and enjoy. All right, we're back again. I'm Corey S. This is the Mass Gun Talk podcast. I started this podcast to help keep people informed who are licensed concealed carry holders and who are trying to get their license to carry, who are going through the process. There's a certain process in Massachusetts that you have to go through in order to begin your application process to get your license to carry, whether it's unrestricted or not. You still have to go through these, you still have to take these steps. You have to find your safety course. You have to take the safety course. I took mine with the Dawn Firearms. Great instructor, great class. Learned a lot. Went over the rules of gun safety. A few of those being keep your finger off the trigger, be ready to pull it, keep it aimed in a safe direction, always know what's behind your target, never aim it at anything you don't want to destroy or kill, safely secure your firearm, and know what's behind your target. And I think I said that already. Also, you have to, in some towns, cities and towns, you have to take a live fire class. But during his class, we learned how to safely load a magazine into the firearm. We learned how to rack the slide, remove the magazine, remove the round that's in the chamber through racking the slide in order to make sure that the gun is clear and safe. We learned how to look through the sights, get your sight picture. I then had to go to the range, Mass Firearms, and we went over shooting, the grip technique, aiming, pulling the trigger, and then he signed off on my live fire class. I had actually previously put my application in before I took the class, and it's kind of funny in two ways because I didn't realize there was paperwork that had to go with it. I thought I could bring it in during the interview. I basically had to submit it with my copy of my driver's license, birth certificate, social security card, and proof of residence, and I didn't, so I got it back in the mail with a list highlighted of the things I needed to bring. So once I got my copy stamped by the Dawn for my live fire training, I brought everything back to them, dropped it off. It was cool, a good experience. The officers at the local PD were real cool. And again, he also suggested during the class to put your application online because they have a new registry system. So basically, they're supposed to reach out to the applicant 30 days after they receive the application, and the online submittal helps keep kind of a tab on that when they receive it, when they respond. So they have to have some kind of due process for that application, meaning making sure that the people get reached out to within 30 days. I was also advised to put a physical copy in with the local PD, so I did that as well. In some towns and states, some cities and towns, you have to just write a letter to the sergeant. The requirements vary in certain towns and cities in Massachusetts, and basically, it depends on where you live. So once I did that, I had to wait for my phone call. Got the phone call. My interview was February 10th. They'll be doing fingerprints, and I have to pay my fee, which is $100. Check a money order, pardon me, and that's the initial process to getting your license to carry. Again, it varies in different cities and towns, so check with your local PD or check on your town's website, and they should give you the information for the process that you need to take specifically for your area. And secondly, there are some real nice ranges around in Massachusetts. I've been to a few. The first one I went to was Braintree, the shooting club there. It's 24/7 if you're a member. It's pretty cool. They had a nice range. When I was there, it was later at night, so there was no range officer there. Having a range officer is always good because if you have questions or have trouble, they can help you, through a myriad of issues, because usually it's really someone knowledgeable there. Like when I went to On Target in Drake, that's a real good facility. Really nice range, really organized, real knowledgeable staff. They have a store there where you can purchase firearms, ammunition, accessories, so forth and so on. You can rent guns you want to shoot while you're there. You can spend time just checking things out, just seeing what fits you. They have a range officer who will give you advice, who will help you with your mechanics, your grip, your stance, just to help you get the most out of your training and, you know, be as accurate as possible. I know there's another range, Mass Firearms, that's in Hopkinton. I've been there. That's where I took my live fire training class. I went there with a buddy of mine. It's a nice range. You know, you can rent guns to shoot. They have a store as well there if you want to buy firearms or any accessories, ammo, stuff like that. They have really knowledgeable staff there as well. I think they're affiliated with USCCA as well. When I went there, it was a little cold, so the range got really cold. So that's another thing. When you go to the range, you want to make sure you're dressed properly for the different situations and environments. Sometimes it could be cold in the range, maybe hot. You always want to be protected. You know, you want to have eye protection, ear protection, and again, you want to protect for the elements. Again, in that range, even though it was inside, it was very cold. You could see your breath. So after a while, the cold made it uncomfortable to keep on. So after a while, we decided to just leave because it just got really cold, and plus it was getting late. But it was a really nice range. Let's see what else. I heard there's a range in Boston. I haven't been to that one. I know there's a range in Woburn I'm going to check out. There's a gun club in Holbrook. They offer competition and precision rifle training. They offer a lot of training courses, have a lot of programs that you can get into to fit your need, or, you know, satisfy your need, whatever you want to do, whether it's competition shooting, getting more skilled, getting more precision, target shooting. Again, do your research, find a range that fits you, that meets your time needs. Some are 24/7, some aren't. Some you need to be a member to have the 24/7 access. So again, do your due diligence. We'll touch more on those in different podcast episodes. We'll probably do some actual live reviews of a range. We'll go check it out, you know, shoot at it, see what it's like, ask people some questions, and, you know, just get an opinion and just share that with you guys. Again, it's the first of many episodes, the beginning, it's the premiere. We're going to touch on some things and go over some things, and hopefully you guys leave some comments and I can answer some questions in the next one. All constructive criticism is welcome. I look forward to really, you know, growing with you guys. I built this community just to, you know, be just that, a community where people can learn from each other, share with each other, keep each other accountable, being aware and being on top of their decisions they make every day, being concealed carry holders, because it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. So you have to actually be aware of the decisions that you make. No one is above anyone else. We're all trying to learn to make sure we, you know, are carrying safely, securely. We're also prepared in a situation if ever one arises, because you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. And I really believe that. So it's another thing that we can help each other find training courses that you could attend, you know, to work on your aim, your mechanics, also, you know, various trainings where to raise your awareness for situations, you know. Again, I'm a member of USCCA. Everybody should have some type of concealed carry insurance. There's various ones out there. I like USCCA because I was introduced to that by the Dawn. It's a funny story. I've been a member of USCCA since 2023. So the funny story is, I was on Facebook scrolling, and I had always been looking to prepare to get my license. So that means like looking at vaults and different accessory stuff like that, bags that I could purchase ahead of time, you know, just because I was really looking forward to getting my LTC and becoming a concealed carry holder. So they had this really cool accessory for free if you became a member. So I basically like, oh wow, this is cool, okay. Not even really understanding what it was really about. I went and got a membership, and I got the free items. It was a gun vault and a survival bag. You know, really cool things that came with it. I got the bag, I got the vault, you know, and never really understood what came with the USCCA membership, and just had it. And then finally took the class with the Dawn, and he's like, yeah, you know, USCCA is one of the better insurances for people who have their concealed carry license or permit, excuse me. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I'm a member there. So, you know, I checked everything out, and I I reactivated a membership, got a couple more free items, and then found the level that I was on had trainings online that you could take just to raise awareness, like just various situations and when you can use your rifle, how to shoot your rifle or use your handgun, how to shoot your handgun, just various trainings that were really helpful online. They also have some trainings in person with affiliated ranges. So I look forward to tapping into that once I get my license and get myself situated. I have some, my eyes on some things I'm going to grab myself for my first handgun. Looking at Canex, the Met. I like that a lot. I was shooting that with a buddy of mine. I'm at the range, so that felt good to me. But again, I'm really gonna look at what feels good to me. I think it was the SIG P320 AX. Really felt flat when I shot it. I look forward to becoming a collector. Again, I want to collect different firearms, being able to get proficient with different firearms, as I know most of us do. But again, it's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle. So you have to be able to make sure you make the right decisions so that you don't go out into the world while you're carrying and have a gun imprint. You don't want to print, you want to make sure it's concealed so nobody has an idea that you're carrying. I know sometimes when you first walk out with your gun on your hip, it may feel like it's poking out, like you got a big oversized holster and nothing covering and everybody's staring at you. That's something, again, you have to get used to, the lifestyle. And that's what we plan to help people do, whether it's finding out the proper firearm that's better concealed than the next one, or the best concealed carry holster, or just any information to help people make better decisions as they go about their daily concealed carry life. And again, I want to thank you guys for coming to this podcast. We've got some other things to touch on. So again, in Massachusetts, they have a law that governs self-defense, which is called the Castle Doctrine. There is no stand your ground rule in Massachusetts. If you're out in public, you have a duty to retreat if you can do so safely. In Massachusetts, there are 4 kind of stipulations that have to be met in order for the Castle Doctrine to apply. You have to be in your home, your bedroom, your apartment, any place you sleep or live. That's considered your home, your castle. It can't be your porch. It can't be outside. It can't be your car. It can't be the store. It can't be the street. Those aren't covered by the Castle Doctrine, and you'd have the duty to retreat safely. So like, say for instance, someone breaks into your castle. Think of your home as your castle. Someone breaks into your castle. They come in and they're trying to do you bodily harm. They're trying to hurt you. You feel like they're really going to kill you. You can use strong force to defend yourself. But if they break into your castle and they're only going to take your TV and they're trying to run out the door, you can't do anything but call the police. The next stipulation that has to be satisfied is you didn't start the altercation, so God forbid someone breaks into your home and they come and attack you and they're going after you. Then you're covered by the Castle Doctrine to protect yourself. Like if they're coming at you with a knife, or they're pursuing you, like you can't be pursuing them, you can't be chasing them, or that would nullify any Castle Doctrine coverage. You can't chase them out the house. If they're leaving, you can't pursue them. If they're being loud, you can't use force if someone in your home is being loud. And also, they can't have been let in. They can't have been invited in, and they can't belong. They can't live here. They can't live in your home. That's another thing. It can't be a person that lives in your home. Then also they have to break in. So basically, they have to either kick the door in, break a window, sneak in, or force their way in. That's another stipulation of the Castle Doctrine that has to be met. It can't be that you let them in, they were invited in. Excuse me. Also, you have to be in fear of your life. So basically, you have to be for all intents and purposes, you have to be genuinely in fear that they're going to do some bodily harm to you or you're going to kill you. That's the only way that you can use force in the Castle Doctrine setting. So like if a robber runs towards you with a knife, trying to stab you, then you're justified in using force to defend yourself. But if they're running out your house with a TV or you're safe, you have to call the police. You can't run after them. You can't attack them. You can't chase them. You can't pursue them. You have to actually call the police and go through that process. So those are some of the things that have to be met in order to use force. Like for instance, if you hide in your bedroom during an attack and a person comes looking for you and begins to try to attack you in your bedroom, you have every right to use deadly force under the Castle Doctrine law, strong force. Also, if the person's running out with your property, again, you just have to call the police. Those are the parts of the castle doctrine law. I mean, again, do your due diligence. We're going to review it further. Do your due diligence. Make sure you understand it more in depth. But again, ask any questions, and we'll do our best to answer them on the next episode. And then coming April 2nd, this is why I recommend people getting their process going, because they're making changes to the laws in Massachusetts. April 2nd, 2026. They're gonna make it a little more difficult. They're gonna include more requirements. They're changing some things. So basically, gun owners are gonna be required to register their firearms in a state registry, so they can have an idea of what guns are in Massachusetts. I don't agree with this. I think I have some feelings about this. I think it's a slippery slope, especially with the cyber attacks and people hacking the databases and people's information being exposed. But again, I'm not here to be on a political arena. I'm just here to share the knowledge. They're also going to be requiring live fire training. They're going to be changing requirements up for some of the safety classes. There was mention of written tests, proficiency tests. They're also going to be requiring serial numbers to be engraved at a depth deeper than currently. All pieces of a firearm are going to have serial numbers engraved on them. And there's some other things that are changing. There's a couple changes that they're postponing. Again, we'll do specific videos to dive really deep into that. I just wanted to kind of touch on that so people understand why it's necessary to start the process now, because as long as you started before April 2nd, I believe the changes won't apply to you. But once April 2nd comes around, those changes are going to take effect, and you have to go through those to get your license to carry. Again, it's really a great experience to train, to go to the range, to shoot, to look at where your shots are landing and correct yourself and see how you've improved your aim or your groupings. We're here to talk about different firearms. If you have your favorite firearm, I tested the AR-15 at Mass Firearms. It was beautiful. I also have basically been, just going through different trainings with my buddies of mine, or I trained with another officer, ex-SWAT. His company was Blackout Tactical. He had me training where I'd put a shell on the barrel of the gun, no clip, safely unloaded, and squeeze the trigger to make a smooth pull to see if I could do it without knocking the shell off the barrel. And then there's also, videos on YouTube that we may share that offer some good insight, whether it be on your grip, whether it be on how to aim, use your iron sights. Now, for me personally, I like iron sights. I got used to using the red dot, but in the same aspect, iron sights, I just feel it's just one of those things you get used to, because mechanics and technology fails. So the battery can go down, the red sight can break, and then you're stuck really trying to use iron sights. And if you're not familiar with it, you're not going to be able to use your firearm. You just basically have a paperweight on your hip. So that's why I feel like it's good to learn with iron sights first, and then get used to your optics. Get used to getting your sight picture, find out what your strong dominant eye is. Mine is my left. And just get to know your different guns, get to know your different handguns. Get to know the Massachusetts gun roster. We'll go over that as well. We'll go over that so people can understand what guns can be purchased in Massachusetts. They're also changing the gun roster as well. They're making all ghost guns illegal. Previously, they weren't. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. You can join our Facebook group. You can follow us on TikTok. Hopefully, hit the like and subscribe button here. The notification bell to get notified when we drop new episodes. Because again, we're building a community, and it's open for all. Constructive criticism is welcome. We look forward to interviewing some people. Maybe interview Mayor Wu to get her opinion and her ideas on the gun laws in Massachusetts. Possibly interview some officers or a high-ranking officer in the BPD to get an idea of. I know it's not a duty to reveal, but just to get an idea of how they would like a traffic stop to go with a person that has a concealed carry license and they have their firearms on them, for the peace of mind and safety of everybody. I'm looking forward to interviewing some people on what it's like to concealed carry in Massachusetts, how they feel. Different people get different views on them exercising their right to carry in public. on a daily basis, and look forward to bringing some big things, maybe even group training where we can all put some money together and have a day where we train, get some special trainings with a specific instructor. Hopefully get some more women involved, because I feel like more women should get their license to carry for protection purposes, and I feel like we should support them. Even the youth. I didn't know that youth can get a college scholarship for being able to shoot. And it's really, really real. Look that up. A child can get a college scholarship for being a proficient shooter. And again, I'm looking to basically enable whoever wants to get into the lifestyle, get into, being a concealed carry holder, getting into being a competition shooter, because that's where I look forward to getting, eventually being a competition shooter. I'd like to raise my skill level as high as possible, be proficient, teach my daughter, teach my spouse, teach my family, make sure they're protected. And again, there's many reasons why you should get your license to carry, go to the range. I can't make anybody do anything. I can just give you positive and sure reasons why it may be a good idea for you, or even just a good idea in general. And again, we're gonna try to drop an episode as much as we can, as many times as we can, just to get the information out to the share, and share with your friends, share with anybody who who's on the fence. Then this may help them decide whether they want to get a license or not, whether they want to take a safety course or not. And also, if you look on a Mass Gun Talk Facebook page, we're posting some information. They got a Brunch and Burners event coming up, where it's basically all women in the class being taught, because some people feel different and feel more secure in certain environments. Also, I have seen some instructors and heard of instructors who are kind of harsh and kind of rash with students, which, when you're learning, you kind of have to be not coddled, but people have to kind of concede to the person that's learning if they really want them to take the knowledge, so that they can take it in and feel comfortable with what they're learning, and not be worried about being uncomfortable, because a person, in my opinion, won't pay attention if they can't be relaxed in the learning environment. So again, check out our Facebook page. We're on TikTok. This is the first episode, the premiere. I want to thank you guys for showing, for your time. Look forward to, more episodes from us. Look forward to more situations from us. Look forward to just more information, period, because we're here to teach as many people as we can and help them get an understanding of what it's like to be a licensed to carry, a concealed carry holder in Massachusetts. Again, this has been Mass Gun Talk. I'm Corey S. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, so that you can get notified when we drop new episodes. Hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to more. See you soon. Peace. Had to learn that the rules don't apply when no one's looking. I just buried and noticed the way that this shit I took it. It's two options, so I'll keep it pushing, cause I'm not fooling. Still see you later, knowing I won't be back. Sometimes you send out signals, clearly get no feedback. You don't use it, just be charming, cause you have a knack. Time is money, but you wasted and you lose track. Always stay ready, so you don't gotta get ready. Constructive criticisms, welcome. Drop your comments in the questions. Drop your questions in the comments, and we'll do our best to answer them. Any suggestions, if there's things you want to hear us talk about and discuss, let us know. We appreciate you all, and we're building from the ground floor up.